Hey friends, it's Megan Lorson back with another video for you today. So I had a request to recreate a bridal style that I just recently did on one of my brides. It was a beautiful half up, half down style. So I'm going to recreate it today, show you guys how I did it from start to finish, the prep, all the products I used, and all that good stuff. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so I'm going to be using my Cassia mannequin doll today. She's got so much hair. It's super, super thick. It's just beautiful. And the first thing I'm going to do is prep her with a little bit of oil because her hair is super dry and frizzy. And this is exactly what I would do on a bride who has frizzy, coarse hair. If it needs to be softened a little bit, if it needs moisture added into it, this is exactly what I would do. Now, I actually did not put any serums or oil in the bride's hair that I did this actual style on because she had really fine, smooth, shiny hair already. And her hair was just, like I said, it was very fine and silky and straight. It really didn't need anything. It didn't have frizz or anything in her hair. And she just didn't need oil. So I didn't want to add any into her hair. This Kenra moisturizing oil though is super, super lightweight. This is really good for people with fine hair. It's good for anybody, but it's not going to weigh their hair down if they do have finer hair because it just like soaks and absorbs into the hair, and it's not like a thick type of oil or serum. I'm going to go ahead and do a zigzag section and divide the hair right behind the ear. And I'm going to start getting my crown area ready and determine how much hair and how much volume I want to come figure out where I want it to start and then come back. Do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to just take a zigzag parting, comb that hair forward, and then determine how much hair I want to start coming back. So I think that's good. You guys can see kind of where that starts, and then of course we'll create lots of volume in the crown area. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by sectioning her hair. We're gonna start off by curling the bottom and working our way up. My bride that I did this style on had very fine hair. It wasn't super, super thin, but it wasn't super thick either. But we did add extensions in my bride's hair also to mostly help with holding her curl because her hair literally did not hold curl at all. It just fell straight no matter what. I'm going to show you exactly how I prepped her hair with all the products I put in it to help hold the curl, but the extensions really did the best job like helping her curl hold. And the reason I love using extensions to help hair like stay curled and hold the curl is because I like to take the extension hair and curl it in with their actual hair, and that really helps keep the shape of the curl. Okay, so the first thing I always like to do is spray heat protectant in the hair, and I'm using Paul Mitchell hot off the press. This really helps to hold the curl. And then what I did was I took a little bit of my Osis Tame Wild and I rubbed it through my hands, and then I just ran it through the whole hair section of hair. This is going to give it a little bit of texture. It's going to add shine to your curls, and it's going to help hold the curl. So I ran that through nice and evenly, smooths out any frizz. And then I like to take a little bit of my Volume Up hairspray. This is also by Osis. It's a Schwarzkopf product. And just spray down the hair. And then just make sure you evenly coat all the strands of hair. And then just comb that through so there's no frizz, no tangles. And then we are ready to start curling. And then I'm gonna start all the way over on this side, and I'm just going to use my 1-inch curling wand. I'm gonna point it down, and then I'm just gonna do a flat wrap curl. So I'm just keeping the hair flat. And I'm gonna hold it for a second and then release. And it's a beautiful, smooth, shiny curl. And then I'm going to alternate the curls. So each one is going to be turned the opposite direction. So this one was just turned to the left. I'm going to turn this one to the right. And then I'm going to keep alternating them back and forth for each one that I do. So this one's going to go this way. And again, we're just flat wrapping the hair. And when I'm trying to get the hair to hold curl, I don't like to pull on the hair, so I'll just release it and just kind of let it be the way it falls out. I don't try to like pull it down, stretch it out, comb it out or anything like that. I just want it to cool and set. And if you do have a bride that does have a really hard time with their hair staying curled, you could always pin up the curls as well and then take them down once it cools. I'm going to continue to work my way up the head. I'm going to do one more section, and then after this next section I'm going to start working on the crown area, so I'll show you guys how I do that. Okay, so once I get to about the amount of a section that I want to tease, I will go ahead and take that down, comb through it just to smooth out frizz, make sure everything's nice and smoothed out. And then what I'll do is just gently lay it on top of the curls, and then I'm going to start teasing and adding in my volume. So I take my section, let me make sure all of this is even. So I start at the top and take a thin section, and then I spray a little bit, or I pump a little bit of my soft dust texture powder at the roots. This helps to lock in the tease and hold that volume all day and all night. And I'm just going to tease it at the root a little bit. Typically do about 12 times. And I'm just teasing at the root because I don't want to create extra frizz and I don't want to start it like way up high or anything like that. Just spray a little bit more texture powder and then just tease it a little bit at the root. And then keep teasing back as far as I want to get the volume that I want. So the bride that I did, she definitely wanted quite a bump, quite a bit of volume in the back. So I did tease her hair a lot, and considering her hair's super fine and falls flat very quickly, I definitely used a lot of that soft dust powder and I teased it a lot. And I did tease it pretty far back. So let's see. This will be my last section right here. I'm gonna spray a little bit of that powder at the root area and then tease it one more time. Okay, and then I still have a section of hair down. So then what I do now is comb through this section that's down, and it's the perfect amount of thickness to curl. So then what I do is the same exact thing. I take a little bit of my hot off the press heat protectant, and then I take a little bit of the Osis Tame Wild, rub it through my hands, make sure it's nice and dissolved, and then just evenly spread it through the hair. And I'm just going through to smooth down frizz, which is also adding shine, and also it's giving it some texture, and having this product in there as a base product is going to help it hold the curl. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my volume up and spray it down with the grain of the hair. With the grain of the hair, is that the right word? With the cuticle of the hair. There we go. I'm just going to comb all that product down, help seal and glue all those hairs down. And then I'm going to take my section and I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to continue to alternate the curls, and I'm going to continue to flat wrap the hair to get those beautiful bouncy bridal curls. And then we're going to release that. And again, I'm just letting the hair fall so it can kind of cool and set. And for this style, actually, I didn't even comb out the curls on this bride because we wanted that beautiful, tighter curl. And again, her real hair has trouble holding curl anyways, so I didn't want to brush anything out. So this curl was in the opposite direction. And I'm just very gently going to release that hair to keep as much curl in there as possible. And then we're gonna do 2 more curls on this section. Just gonna smooth that hair out. And then this hair is gonna get curled in the other direction. You can see they're beautiful, shiny, bouncy curls. Okay, I also did want to point out that when I am curling the hair, I am taking even amounts of hair. So all the sections that I'm curling are all the same size. It just keeps the curl and the overall look of the style more uniform and just helps it to flow better. So now I'm going to take down another section of hair. And I'm just going to lightly comb through the ends. I'm not going to comb out the T's, but you can lightly just go over that top section to smooth some of that frizz. I'm going to take heat protection. And I will link all of these products down for you guys below, so if you are interested or you missed what the products were, they'll all be linked down below so you can check them out. I'm gonna rub that through my hands first and then just run it through this section. You can even take a little bit up close to the root area just to tame that frizz down. Just work it through the hair. And then I'm gonna spray a little bit of my Volume Up hairspray and then give it one last comb. And then I'm gonna continue to alternate the curls just like we have been. And I'm gonna work my way all the way up, curling the hair, doing the same hair prep and everything. Okay, so I've just finished curling the whole back section. I'm gonna take my comb and just lightly smooth over the top area just for any little bit of frizz that was left in the hair. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pin the volume in the back section before we start working on the sides. So I'm just gonna determine how much hair I want pinned up into her volume. And my bride on Saturday didn't want like a perfectly smooth bump. She wanted a little bit more messier looking. So I wasn't super worried about trying to get this all super smoothed out. I wanted to keep some texture and keep it a little bit messier looking, but of course still intentionally. And I wanted to pull out the amount of volume. So once I like that amount of volume, I'm gonna twist this hair a little bit right here and then take a bobby pin and bring it over and then turn it and push it straight in. And then I'm gonna take another one on the other side and crisscross it with that first one we just put in. Make sure they're perfect. And then you can kind of piece out the curls if you need to. And then at this point, I'm going to hold the bobby pins in place and just pinch and pull the volume out. And then I'll take my comb and just get really close up to where that bump starts. Place my comb underneath and just lightly pull up on the hair to get it to really stand up where that bump starts, so it's not like flat and then a bump. So I just want to lift the hair a little bit and then lift it through here. Perfect. And then once I like that, I'm gonna lightly spray it with that Volume Up hairspray. And now I'm gonna start working on the sides. So I pretty much have almost the same process when working on the sides. I start at the bottom of the hair, and then I clip this up and away, and make sure that wherever you clip the hair that it's not like in their face, but it's not gonna come back here and start to like zhuzh up and like ruin what you just did and create frizz. That's really how you eliminate frizz in the hair, is just being mindful of how you're working through the hair. So I'm gonna start with this bottom section. Once I spray my heat protection in the hair, I'm gonna grab the Tame Wild, take a little bit of that, rub it through my hands, and then just start working it through this section. And I'm usually like never putting it near the root area. It's usually starting about here down, because mostly just the ends need it. And then I'm gonna make sure this section is nice and smooth and spray a little bit of that Volume Up hairspray, and then just take my comb and run it through. Then I'm going to start off by doing this first curl, and I'm gonna curl this one towards the face. And then I'm gonna make sure that all the curls that are right next to the face are gonna be curled back away from the face. I don't want anything coming in towards the face. I wanna make sure that it is going back away. So this one is going towards the face, and then this one will be going back away from the face. And then I'm going to continue to work my way up the head, doing the same exact thing, prepping the hair the same, curling the hair in the same direction as I did this first bottom section. And then I will show you what I do when I get towards the top. Okay, so once I get up to the top, you can see I have about 2 more sections of curls. It's about 2 inches thick right here. So I'm going to do the same thing that I pretty much did in the back. I'm going to take this whole top section down, comb through that section, and I'm going to start teasing. So I'll take my section, and then I pump a little bit of that soft dust powder right at the root area. And then I'm just gonna start teasing it. And then take another section and pump a little bit more of that powder, and then tease it again. And then I'm gonna take one more section and do the same thing, put a little bit of powder, and then tease. Okay, and then I'm going to start curling the hair. I'm gonna do the same exact prep work. We're going to spray some heat protectant on the hair. Then we're gonna work a little bit of the Tame Wild through the hair to smooth, add shine, and hold. And then I'm gonna give it a spray of the Volume Up, and then just comb it straight out, and just be mindful how much you're combing the hair, because you do want to keep that tease and that lift right here at the root area. I'm just going to section this in 2. Going to curl this hair forward, and I'm continuing to do that flat wrap curl. Hold it for a second, and I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but these curls are so shiny. They just look beautiful, luscious, shiny curls. And then I'm gonna section out these shorter pieces. I'll do those last. And then this last section right here is gonna be curled back away from the face, and I'm trying to keep my arm out of the way so you guys can see what I'm doing. But this section is coming back away from the face. Hold it there for a second, and then I'm just going to release it. I'm gonna do the same thing on the top, gonna finish curling this. Then I'm gonna do the same exact thing I did to this side on the other side. And then I will show you guys how I pinned her hair back. And again, just be very careful when you're working with your sectioning. That way you don't get hair going everywhere. You're gonna lightly comb through the hair. And then because you have that tease, you can easily stick the comb up, and we're gonna be able to lift this up and get the volume that we want. Okay, so here is her hair curled on the sides, and I'll let you see the front. This is what she looks like all curled. So what I'm gonna do is start to bring the sides back, and I'm gonna gather the amount of hair that I want back and just lightly comb that a little bit, because I want this part up here a little bit smoother. And then I'm gonna start twisting it right about here, so it gives it a little bit of texture. And then I'm gonna pinch and pull some texture out right here. And then I'm gonna twist it back here a little bit, and then I want this tail to end like right on top of what we've already pulled back, just to add to this volume back here, to give it more body and volume. And then I'm gonna pinch and pull this twist out a little bit more. I'm gonna take a bobby pin and just pin that in place. And then that is what she looks like on this side. You can take your comb and just pull up the volume if you need a little bit more volume there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to determine how much hair I want to come back. Turn her more to this side. Okay, and then I'm just going to comb through this top section a little bit, just to break up that curl a little bit. And then when I get back here, I'm gonna start twisting it. And then this one's just gonna overlap that back part. And then I'm just going to pin it on the other side. And again, I want this hair to fall in with this hair back here in the middle. That way it gives it lots of volume. I'm gonna pinch and pull out this twist a little bit before I pin it. And then once I like where it is, I'm gonna take the bobby pin and push that in. And then you can pinch and pull out any more volume that you'd like. And then make sure you like the amount of volume in the front. You can stick your comb up, and then I would just lightly spray it a little bit. Make sure these front pieces are how you want them. I'm gonna just comb out some of this up here a little bit, so you can't tell where it separates for each curl. I'm gonna do the same thing, just comb this out a little bit. And then there you have the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you learned a lot. If you have any other video suggestions, let me know in the comments below. You can also comment on my videos on Instagram, shoot me a DM on Instagram, and let me know what type of videos you would like to see next. And if you are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with your friends if you found it helpful. Thank you all so much, and I will see you in the next one.